Hello everybody, it is me, Jurassic Master, here to say that today we are going to be doing a breakdown video on WandaVision Episode 7, no, Episode 8 of WandaVision. So yeah, let's get started. There will be spoilers in this one, so if you don't want any spoilers, do not watch this video, click off the video, there will be spoilers. So there's a scene where her mother says, you learn the darkest of magics, you learn the darkest of magics and learn stuff that you weren't supposed to learn yet. So I'm wondering, when she means the darkest of magics, does she mean, like, we might see Mephisto, like, stuff that dark wizards would learn, sort of like the Dark Dimension? Because I believe one of the main villain in the first, Doctor Strange movie learned the dark magics and sort of converted to the dark side, to the dark dimension. So I'm wondering if that's what they mean by the dark magics. So there's a scene where Agatha kills her mother, and her mother has like this crown on her head, and I'm assuming that makes Agatha Mom the Queen of Witches, which I think is a little weird, but okay. So I'm wondering, since that and she kills her mother, does that mean Agatha is now the Queen of Witches now? And now, since Scarlet Witch is now here, Agatha feels threatened by her power, and that is why she joined the little world of, like, not just because, like, you just got all this power and all this out of the blue, of, like, maybe Agatha could get that power too, but maybe, just a theory that I have right now. So, Agatha mentions a part where she mentions necromancies and was not a starter one to learn, and I was like, what the hell is necromancy? So necromancy is basically bringing back the dead, basically just bringing back the dead, from bringing them back to life, and basically puppeteering them how you want them to be. So that's what that means, and I find that interesting, of, like, sort of what's happening. So we got another scene with the cicada in the room, and I find that very interesting that we got to see the cicada again, sort of hinting maybe... First I was thinking that Mephisto was not really going to be here, but now I'm sort of thinking Mephisto might be here now, so... People at Marvel keep getting my hopes up of us seeing a Magneto. Like, this is the second time you've done this to me. First earlier in the series, we saw a person with gray hair, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to see Magneto. No, it was Pietro. And then we go to her past, where we see her past, and she says, Mama. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to see Magneto. Now we're going to see Magneto. No, it's just another dude. It's just another... When can I see Magneto? Please, give me a Magneto. That's all I want. I think it's really cool that how the show was like, or how we get to see WandaVision, of like how it's changing from different phases, is like it's events in her lifetime of what's happening, of like earlier, like in her early life, it was like 50s sitcoms, and like her Hydra life, it was sort of like 60s, 70s kind of TV shows, and then in after Age of Ultron, it was sort of like 80s and 90s kind of sitcoms. I think that is really cool, and I'm so happy that they put a little backstory on why it was like that. I think it's really cool that the show called Vic Van Dyke. That's an actual person. Vic Van Dyke is an actual person. That I was like, oh, that's cool. They just brought in a new person, or I thought it was like a comic book person, but no, that's an actual person. So that's really cool that they did that. And I love how the design of how it looks. It's like an actual old TV. I find it I think it's really cool that they sort of brought back, or sort of mentioned and actually got a scene of seeing where Tony Stark sent the bomb, and they stayed there for 2 to 3 days. And I thought it happened when they were teenagers, when the bomb went off. And then when they were like in their 20s, that's when they joined Hydra. I thought it was that. I didn't know it was when they were this young is when it happened, which I find very interesting. So there's a scene where Agatha mentions a probability hex. And we see this. This is a hex, so maybe the hex is supposed to represent the probability hex? I don't know. That's all I have written down in my notes, so yeah. We get a scene where Wanda is working at Hydra, and she looks at the Mind Stone, and the Mind Stone comes out of the staff and goes to her, and then it explodes, and we get a scene where it basically sort of looks like Wanda right here, of how it looks, of how she would look comic book wise. So I'm wondering if this is supposed to be like her, like the Mind Stone showing herself, going into her mind and showing her that this is the foolish potential that you can be, not just like showing herself of like, hey, look what you can do, this could be you. So I'm wondering if it's going to sort of be like that. I feel like I have two theories on who Hayward could be, of like, there's more to Hayward than we think. I think one of my theories right now is that he might be Blackheart, of like just trying to puppet Wanda around to be like, get her at a low point, because when Hayward showed her vision of like showing her like, oh, this we're dismantling your husband, and you can say goodbye to him, but we can't let you take him. But we know that he's making the cataract, I can't remember what it's called. But maybe he's Blackheart and sort of like trying to get Wanda to snap, of like being at such a low point that Mephisto can come in and be like, alright, now you're under my control, I have you now, because Blackheart is basically one that sort of draws in people to Mephisto's little mini custom hell. So, and my other theory is, at the moment, is that he might be working for Hydra, because the next series is all about Hydra seeming like to be the villain because of Baron Zemo. Maybe. So, he might be working for Hydra, and like just to see Wanda in pain, because sort of working with Baron Zemo of like, hey, if I can make Wanda go crazy and go mad and insane, maybe I can do something. Maybe I can just have her at a low point where we like can get in and destroy her, but that probably failed. I don't know. But that's sort of my theory at the moment. So we get a scene where she basically converts the whole city, and as she is converting the city, we actually are able to see one of the commercials being Lagos. So I find that interesting. On the billboard, as it's converting, I had it paused and I looked at the billboard and it said Lagos. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But yeah, I think that's really cool that they did that. So if you're a person who really doesn't know about chaos magic, well, let me give you like a general rundown on chaos magic. It's basically just like a overpowered, just powers. It's just really overpowered. Like, the simplest way I can put it is just like, it basically means that you're God, and like you cannot be, like, it makes every other magic spell look like crap, of like a level, like you may think that you have like a level 30 kind of magic spell, and if you compare it to chaos magic, your level 30 looks to like a level 1, and the chaos magic looks like 100. So like, chaos magic is really overpowered, and it's like, it's really, really overpowered. So we get a scene where Vision is completely white, and we're all assuming that this is the weapon, and the thing is, in the Marvel comics, when Vision turned completely white, he became a villain. So I'm wondering if Vision is going to have to battle himself, of like the good Vision that we know, and has to battle his evil self. And I'm wondering if eventually the reason why this Vision goes bad is that they're going to dismantle this Vision and make it that the cataract, I can't remember what you would call it, of making it the cataract, I think it's called a cataract, the cataract into like an exoskeleton suit, where it's like you can put on the suit and you'll be fine. You don't have to send in a robot to do it. So, yeah, that is all that I have. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I think we have one more episode of WandaVision, and then we're done, and then we do Winter Falcon, and I'm excited to do that one. So that's going to be fun. I hope you enjoyed this one. Watch my previous episodes and watch some of my other videos. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, sandwich bars! Woo!